Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Vivek. Good evening. Hi, guys. Good evening. I hope you can see my screen. And can you guys hear me properly? Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Vivek. Hi, Shri. Hi, Hammer Time. Hi, Sanjay. Hi, Raghu. Hi, Falcon. Hi, Shikhar. Good evening, guys. So today was finally really interesting, which happened. Uh, Yesterday night, I posted some book maps for futures, NASDAQ, as well as ES and Russell, and everything behaved as per those book maps. So let's see what's the story here. But one thing which was very clear, and I want to spend like few minutes on that, because like if you read on Twitter and if you see people, they're calling for all-time highs or new highs, this size. And I'm not a bear, I'm not a bull. I just try to share the views on based on what I see. Okay. So I will give you some idea before we move further into our discussion. So let me just spend a few minutes here, and this is going to be really important. So we have four indexes. Okay, one is S&P. Then we have Dow Jones, TIA. Third one we have Nasdaq. Fourth one we have Russell. These are the four main indexes we track for the US market. Now, this rallied. This was the most beaten down in 2022 from 16,800 all the way to 10,800. This was beaten down. Now it is back to 14,600, which was, I think, the recent high, 694, if I make it precise, which is still about 2,000 points down. That's about roughly 15% from the high. Okay. And S&P S&P is holding between 3,800 to 4,325, and I will tell you about 4,325. I've shared 4,325 number multiple times. Dow Jones, I do not trade, so I do not remember their levels. But first, this one rallied and tried to come to a 15% uh, lows or 15% close to the high. S&P, if you simply do a calculation from 4,800, it's roughly in the same percentage range of 14-15% from the all-time high. Russell was 244, or if like I'm giving you IWM number, and right now it's 187. So I expect, like, if I go to 24 of this, like 15% of this, that will come around 2010 roughly. All right. So 205, 2010. Now, in all these markets, one thing which everybody is ignoring, and people like, I'll be very candid here. If people don't like me for that, it's okay. But the fact of the matter is that if one day your trade is good, you will start claiming that, yes, I have called it. This is a bull market, that market. But the moment market changes, right, with that kind of mindset or if that kind of thing, you cannot change. You cannot switch. And most of the people who I see on the internet, they will only come once they are winning. If they are losing, they will shut down. They'll just keep mum. Okay. So ignore them. Focus on what you are learning, learn, utilize, and then make an inference of the information available to you. All right. And I'm telling you very honestly, nobody's going to spend this kind of time, which I am doing. So I expect you to please participate, please come in numbers. I'm doing this for free. So I appreciate a mutual communication. If we have, then it keeps me motivated. Otherwise, if I have to do it, I can do it on my own. I don't need to do this and spend every night 1 hour to 1.5 hours. All right. Now, coming back to the point, Nasdaq rallied, came to a 15% nearby point. Okay. S&P is about 15% from high. Now, in case for Russell to move, right, in the last few days, Nasdaq has to cool off. Okay. And the moment Nasdaq is cooling off, that money is going into Russell, into Dow stocks. Caterpillar was 205 2 days back, or maybe like last week. Now it's 235. Same goes for John Deere, LMT, Costco, Home Depot. Now, why that it is happening in a sequence? This is happening in a sequence because of a very important factor, which is liquidity. Now, we are coming to an area, or we are coming to a point where liquidity is going to be really, really important. See, I have given an example, and I'm going to give you that example one more time. Suppose there are three people, A, B, and C, each start with $100, and I'm trying to explain you the liquidity. Now, if they keep on trading between each other, right, the maximum they can move is $300. Either it will belong to A, or belong to B, or belong to C. This 300 is the maximum. Okay. Same is with S&P. Why S&P is not able to move above 43.25? And I've mentioned this multiple times. 43.25 is the August high. And for me, if we are able to take it out, then I would call this a start of the bull market. Otherwise, we are still in a bear market, and there are possible stretch. And why these stretch are different from that of 2008 and 2000? Because never ever in the history Fed was infusing money like what they have done. The balance sheet from the Fed is still roughly $9 trillion. Now, the liquidity crunch, which I'm expecting, the surprise interest rate hike from Bank of Canada, that was the one factor where the yields, which were kind of lagging, they started to move up. And the moment, because right now the entire US market is ignoring the fact that rates are going to stay. These rates are not going away. Okay. You might see some ease off on CPI next week, but these rates are going to stay with us until 2024. And market is assuming a rate cut by the end of maybe June or July. I don't think so that is happening, because the employment is really solid. And one factor, in addition to all this, the rates hikes are always done when the market is solid, the economy is solid. Rate cuts are done when the market or the economy is in a critical state. So right now the economy is solid. The inflation, which is caused by Fed, it is not going away easily. It's going to take like numerous amount of like tactics to remove this kind of liquidity. Otherwise, the company who is just making phones and doing services cannot be equal to the GDP of India. That is Apple, right? You cannot have companies who are just making $1 billion in revenue or $10 billion in revenue, having a market capital of 1 trillion, Nvidia. These are fundamentals, and fundamentals do come back and haunt us really, really badly. Okay, so it doesn't mean that we'll not go up. We will go up. So if you see these people, A, B, and C, they had $100 and they were just trading between $300. Now Fed came in. Fed gave them $500. Now $500 when came between this, the net becomes $800. And when the net become $800, it pushed the index up. And when you have this kind of money available to you, it comes into the equity. And when the equity goes up, then you will have the index going up. So for that, we have two type of investments. One is from your 401k plus from your salary where you invest. Plus there was a Fed, which was pushing from 29 to 2022. This was happening in straight line. And that's why we never had a big, or people call we never had a recession in the last 15 years. Why would we have recession? Because Fed was there all the time. The only time Fed took out the money was 2018. And we had a 30% hit on the stocks or on the index in September, October, November, and December 24th, 2018 was the low of that year. I remember that because after that, I made huge money on Amazon. So this is liquidity. Now, liquidity is getting concerning levels. Why? Because, as I said, 4 indexes. If Russell was strong or the small scale companies were strong, they should have moved along with NASDAQ. And that did not happen. And that's my real concern. In a bull market, right? All these markets will run together. NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow Jones. And in the last 2 days, and I've called people to ignore the liquidity for last few days because I wanted to see this. Now, in order, and you would have seen when NASDAQ was going up, Dow Jones stocks were held on Monday. And now when S&P is holding up because banks are up, all the tech stocks are beaten down. So it means that there's no new fresh money coming into the market and they are switching. So whenever we have this kind of situation and the small scale is the last leg of that cycle. When the Russell starts to move, it means it is the last leg of that push going higher. So be very careful here. If we have a rate hike next week, like what we did in Canada or what we saw in Canada, we are ready to go down aggressively. All right. So this is what I really wanted to share, that having Russell strong is not the bull market. It is the last leg of a cycle. If we had all the 4 indexes moving together, that's a bull market. Now, with liquidity crunch, we have $1 trillion of bonds. So liquidity will be taken out from somewhere and will go to buy those bonds, plus balance sheet reduction, plus yields are going higher, meaning the interest rates will also sustain higher. So all in all, we will have liquidity crunch, but we will have our own money, 401k money, which is coming, which will kind of offset it. But let's see how much it can. Because this is really, really going to be impactful. And I have said this, if you want go, you can go watch my December 15, 2021 video where I explained the same thing. And then everybody saw what happened. Okay, people keep on claiming. You can go and watch a 15 December video of me explaining about ECB impact and FOMC impact. I explained it, and then based on that you would have seen in January, February, March, we had some massive correction. So we are, I think, may not have that kind of crush, but I'll be careful here to begin with. All right. So let's go and start the daily process. So hi and welcome to my channel. And again, if you like my content, if you appreciate, please give me a like and please share this on Twitter. That's what. Can you pin that video? Dude, I don't even put my logo on my video. I don't even say a welcome on my video. I don't have time for all that. You can search it, you can tag it and do. I'll be thankful to you. I am a very simple person. I just come live, share my views, and get out. That's it. I am not making any kind of money. Even if I can show you my YouTube, I have not even given them my information so that I can actually uh, get money from YouTube. People take money from YouTube. I don't do that. I have like thousands of hours of content, but I don't do that because like if I know this rules, right? I can use these rules to make money for myself. I don't need your money or anybody's money. It's as simple. Like people who sell services on the Twitter, like if you have an alert and you can make 100% on your alerts, right? Why don't you put your own money and multiply it? I do not understand anything why people want to sell services if they cannot even use their own alerts to make money. If Fed retains same rate, do you think we will fall? I think we will have some trouble. We are going to see June, July to September. I think we'll be seeing some some push. All right, let's come back and focus. So let's do the scan. First of all, I'll do my favorite scan, which is inside day. We have 12 of them. Guys, I will answer you later. Let's because I've already consumed 15 minutes of yours. So we have Baba, we have Intel. Intel was doing good. So not much in terms of inside day. Bullish candles. Let's see if we have any. None. Any bearish candles? No. That is strange. Last one I will do is my 1234 scan. So today I want to see if we have 34 hitting the 12. Netflix, SPX. Okay. Anything on a day? UNH. So UNH is losing the momentum. All right. Okay, so Netflix is 1234. No, Netflix is 34 crossing 12 and UNH. All right, so let's go and start our tickers. So let me just like share what I did today. Okay, so as I mentioned last night, not mentioned, I did not do a live session yesterday. I posted this. If we do a back test of 14,560, we should expect a back test of 78.6 Fibonacci. So let's see if we actually did that. I think we did. Let's go to the charts. NQ. See, right there. This, I explained you, we had dodges back to back and 3 dodges above the trend line resistance. I clearly mentioned here, right? This was a clear indicative that yes, something is about to happen. I was solid on ES 6040. I was neutral on NQ 50-50. And you see, we got resisted, and the magic of the regression channel. I'll change the color to blue so that you can all see. Let's make it green. So this is the regression channel. Finally, it started from here, where it found the resistance right here. Now, what it is doing, it is coming back and doing a back test of 12 EMA, which is really, really important. And my 12 EMA, why I use 12 EMA? Because 12 EMA is just nearest to the Fibonacci. Usually it's 13. I don't use 13 because I believe in these numbers. 12 is I use, and then the next number is 34. So these Fibonacci numbers on my EMAs are really, really solid. That's why I trust them. So there was a failure from here, and then we are right on this edge. Okay, so this was really good. On ES, we are still far, far away. But where we are struggling, 61.8 Fibonacci, 42.77. Okay, now possibilities are multiple, but this is the test which I wanted, which I mentioned a few times in the last few days, 43.25. If we can breach this number, I think, or 43.27, I'm just making round it off, 43.25. If we can breach this number and sustain, I would change my thoughts that yes, now we can actually push higher. But if we do a test right here, for me, that will be a double top. And double top, boom, there's a high possibility we will go down from there. All right, so let's start the analysis. Okay, and these were the tickers. So I did not trade Apple, but Apple came into the dip. 177.35 was kind of held. Costco, AMD was sold, and the moment it lost 122, it was a short. Amazon sold, Baba sold, Costco sold, Crowd sold, Google sold. But what I did, I only traded Home Depot because I was only focusing on Home Depot. From 296, it hit 299, it hit 302. That was the only blue ticker for me, and that's what I shared in my Telegram community with everybody. There were two shorts, and I was consistently short on Meta and Microsoft, and they were short. Netflix, I have been suggesting Netflix trade to go long on 721, call the 450 for quite some time. This magically opened $20 up. So it was a good, fruitful trade. Tesla hit 230, almost there. Scare, I did not check. Shop, I think, was down really, really big. PayPal and Scare kind of held. And I clearly mentioned, should follow financial. Financial was strong. So did PayPal and Square. So when I write these comments, please try to follow the process at your end when you're doing, so that when you're looking at something, you know that yes, you made a decision based on this information. All right, I've shared a lot of Gyan today. So let's try and run the ES. So ES, right now, you see, we had a bearish candle. Why bearish? Because the body of today's candle covered this entire set above 61.88 Fibonacci. And I think we are going to struggle to cross this tomorrow. If we cross it, then I think we'll have some push on the higher side. But I expect it to do a back test of 12 EMA. So 42.40 is really, really important. If we lose 42.40, I think then we are going to test some serious downside. 42.40 is my 12 EMA. So it's really important. Let's look this on the book map. Let's go on ES. And guys, I have a subscription of Bookmap, so I can track any single ticker I want. So if you want to use it, you can use it. It's available on Think or Sell. This is 7th of July, 7th of June. Come on, what did I do? Yep. So you will see right here. This is a book map. Like people talk about order flow, this and that. That is not a magic thing. It's just the number of orders you can see. Right now, we have a good support at 4260. You see this orange line? This is a good order support. And this is a good resistance area, 4280. So here sellers are there who have their orders. Here buyers have support. The moment we break above, I don't have anything stopping me to hit 4300. If I lose 4260, let's see. Not substantial number of orders outside of this range. So anything outside will be a big trigger. All right, so go back to the charts. So I saw 4282. So let's make 4282 as our buying opportunity. Stop loss is our 4275. I'm just making it 4275 because 4277 is our Fibonacci level of 61.8. And I'm reducing it to, I'll keep it positive because I'm still thinking it can hold. Now, if it holds 4275, then 4290 is a good resistance. I don't see 4290 yet. The top of all these candles, like the body's top, is 4290. Is possible. So my targets is 4290, 4305, and 4327. Now you know why I'm choosing a 4327. Okay, I'll just remove that because I've mentioned. Now, in case of a short, I would only short below 4260. Why I'm looking at 4260? Because in the last 3 days, 4260 or 70, it has kind of found a support in this zone. So if we lose it, we may not have a fake breakdown this time. We will have an actual breakdown. So I really want it to break below 4268, not 65. I'll 65. Stop loss is 4275. Target 4240, which is our 12 EMA. And then we have this trend line. So trend line is around 4200. So we can actually see some aggressive declines if this happens. Now this, and you see I've clearly mentioned if it holds below 4280, better to go short. So I did some SPX short as well. So I'm going to remove it. Now below 4260, sell can be aggressive because it is a rejection of 61.8 Fibonacci level. And every time you see a 61.8 Fibonacci rejection, you will usually come back and hit 38. So this is really, really meaningful trade which is setting up. So the levels are clearly defined. If it's sustained above, we'll go long. Between 4265, between 4282, do not trade any index. Do not trade SPX. Outside of this, trade, go for it. Not between this. Let's go to NASDAQ, NQ. NQ is a clear evening star. It's not a clean evening star, but it is an evening star because it has shown a aggressive intent. But do I short right away? No. Where I would short? I would short once we lose this 12 EMA. 12 EMA is 14,272, still 50 points down. So NQ is definitely short and it is expecting a back test. So it did a back test and blow past it. So unless it goes above this, I'm not going long, but I will short this below. It's a evening star. Evening star. Then rejected by 78.6. Expected to find like loss of 12 EMA will be bad. Loss of 12 EMA will be bad. 12 EMA is 272. So we'll short below 272 and our stop loss will be 305. 14,305. That is our short. Possibility is really high if we lose this. So, because it's a evening star, it got rejected. Evening star, this is the first candle. So if I lose, I should have another candle hitting this area. That is a real possibility. If we find the support here, then evening star cancels, then we'll take a trade. Right now, I will not try and try to be lucky and jump here. So in this case, my downside targets are 14,121. You see, once we lose this, we have 14,121, which is a 61.8 Fibonacci. This should find some serious support. If not, then 14,027. And I'm 60% short biased on NQ. And what if we find a support? So in case we find a fake breakdown, like it goes below 14,272 and then bounce. So in this case, what do we do? Look out for a fake breakdown. Fake breakdown. Make a new low, 1472. And come back. Make a new low and come back, not hold. Above 14,305. Only in this situation, you can go long. Either you look for a fake breakout, a fake breakdown, and it makes a new low, and then come back above 14,305. Then try a long at that time. So stop loss is 1472. And in case of trying straight away long, 360. So in this case, the risk is high. So you need to decide your stop loss. But I really want it to cross the top of this candle, which is around 360. If we do that, then 436, which is a back test of this one, and then possible right here, 14,500. Because we had a quick dump and we still, as I said, I still think we should hit 4325 and that will be a deciding factor. So let's see if tomorrow we can have some push on tech side. Let's go to triple Q. Same thing, exactly same setup. Loss of 12 EMA. This is 351, which I've mentioned many times. Same thing, 3 dodgy, 351, 348. So we are now at that same comment. So let me just copy the comment and change the levels. Now short is 40-60 ratio. Now in this case, loss of 346.58, which is 12 EMA, which is our target here. So sell below 346.50. Comment is good. Same thing. Stop loss should be 348.80. 348.80. It is far. Same thing, like 272 is far, but it gives you an opportunity to see, yes, you're right or wrong. 344, 338.50. 344, 338.50. That is triple Q. On the long side, I will only try long if I can reclaim. Same principle, the high of this above 350, a psychological level. And then stop losses 348.80. I'll just make stop loss here as well. 14,305. Target is 351.65, which is the Fibonacci level, and then 355.80. Now, same thing. If it breaks below 346.50 and come back above 348, go long. So that's a fake breakdown. Now, this was about indexes. And if you want, I can show you the NQ bookmap as well. So NQ 612 order is right there. Come on, come on. The order book is building. You see 14,150. That is near to 14,121 area. 14,250. This is the last area of support. And below that, we have blank. And that matches our Fibonacci level. So keep an eye. Above 14,400, it's tough because we are going to have some serious fight here. 360, 350, 340. We have some serious aggressive sellers sitting here. All right. Now let's start with tickers. Apple. Apple is coming to a back test, and this is really, really important. If we have to slide further, I think the loss of 12 EMA on Apple will be the main thing. 177.30, if we hold it, then it's good. So buy near 177.50. Target is there, held. It's kind of back tested. So I will say back tested 12 EMA. And back test is important. That's why I'm still positive on Apple. And what it did, it back tested the 38.2 Fibonacci, which is also really, really important. If we lose 38, we will hit 23 and below. But if we lose 38, which is 177.35 level, this level, then we are opening up for the gap and then the 23.6 Fibonacci. So let's see where is the gap. The gap is 175.77, and I'm mentioning here 175.75 and then 173.50. So in case we lose this area, go for these particular targets. AMD was massive sell. Again, it's a bearish engulfing candle. It covered the entire body, came back, and see, back testing is really important. But along with the back testing, it is also kind of facing struggle with 38.2 Fibonacci. Loss of this one will open up the gap. Last few days, it was holding this space. What it did, it allowed the 12 EMA to catch up. The momentum is still solid, so it will give you a perception that yes, nothing is wrong, but the loss of 12 EMA will be really, really bad. So AMD, if it holds tomorrow, again, there's a very big if. And if so AMD is definitely now short. I'll keep it neutral first, because it is still like DMA wise, it's still solid. It's a bearish engulfing candle. So bearish engulfing. Which is red, negative. So if it holds this 12 EMA, which is 116.40, I'm just taking a risk here, 116.40. If it holds there, I will try a buy near 117. And I think we might do a back test of 121 and 124.50. 121.5 and 124.50. And I would sell aggressively below 116.4 for this gap fill, which is 108.90. So till the moment 116 is there, I may try one long and try to see if it can bounce. But if it loses 116.40, I'm shorting right there. Amazon, all the gaps are always filled. See the magic. Again, people will call this insane. The 12 EMA was 120.70. The low is 120.60. My Fibonacci is 120.57. You cannot get closer than this. If it has to bounce, this is the place. If it loses this, you know the drill. 78.6. So again, I still see market to hold that range. So Amazon, I'm neutral. My stop loss is very close, 1.5. Buy near 121. Bearish candle, I expect it to hit 123. And 125. And even today, it was clearly mentioned that sell below 125 for 120.5. It exactly did that. So people want everything on the spoon, but I share maximum information I can, but it's up to you how to use it for 114. And this is not after the results. These informations are shared before the day starts, like right now. Baba. So Baba is an inside day. We have a candle, and this is a second candle. I think 83.80 is an excellent area to accumulate Baba, because Chinese government is trying to cut the rates because the economy is struggling, and that will increase the liquidity. Increased liquidity, I just explained, has massive power. So buy the dip towards 84 and 84.50. And where it is rejecting 87.27. So it's inside day. Baba is inside day. Back test of 12 EMA should be really good support. Costco, I'm removing Costco and bringing in cat. As people talk about cat. I think cat will cool off tomorrow. It has aggressively moved above the 50 Fibonacci area, 233. If it loses 230, I think we have potential to go back, because I really want it to make inverted head and shoulders. So before moving up, I think it needs to cool off now. And when you have 2 days back to like 3 days massively solid, I think there's a potential to cool off. So I think I would take a dig here, and that I'm just reducing it to, it's very positive. Sell below 233, because I wanted to find some resistance and support. If we lose this support 233, we can have 229 and 225. 229, 225. It's not an inside day. And again, it was an inside day, and the magic of the inside day blast. Reducing into neutral. My stop loss is 235. That is my short trade on Caterpillar. Expecting some cool off. Crowd is rejecting from this area, 149, but it's holding this 149 solid, which is a 50% Fibonacci. Plus, it is near the 12 EMA. So unless it loses 149, I'll still hold a positive trade on this. So 150 and above. Crowd is neutral. Buy above 150.5. Stop loss is 149. Short below 149 for 145, 141. So crowd is a good shot below these areas, not right away. Why? Because it is finding the support of 12 EMA in this one. At Google, like all this consolidation busted in one day. Okay, this is massive evening star. As we were up, followed again. What was the day low and where it found the support? 122. What is the Fibonacci? 38. Near the 12 EMA. That is the power if you put your Fibonacci levels properly. And it is an art to use and place these numbers. So if we lose 122.50, I think we will hit, because it cannot go up. So if we lose market, I think Google can be, again, I'm neutralizing it. It's an inside week. It was a breakout, but a massive bearish engulfing evening star. So this is red. Now Google, again, same thing. If it holds this 122.30, I am holding tight. I want to go long above 123.20. Because today we had some really good cool off in the tech. Tomorrow we need to find whether we can hold it or not. 124.60 and 126. and sell below 122 for 118, no, 119.50 and 117. You know, I do not cover Lulu, so you just need to uh, wait. I already have like so many tickers left. Home Depot did its job today. 299, and it's coming to a resistance zone. It's a big resistance zone for Home Depot. I think it's done for now, so I'm going to remove it. And I want to introduce IWM. IWM, I think, needs some cool off before we move further. Again, it has rallied from 170 to 180. That's a 10% move in 2-3 days. It was the same move where we went down. So again, it's a 38.2 Fibonacci. I would like to add more. And I said it has the potential to reach 204, 205 so that it can match. That should be a really, really good setup. But I want IWM to cool off a little before I add. IWM is positive. If it comes to 185.35, that's really good support. See, any trade you need to first define what is your stop loss and what is the maximum you want to lose. Now, if it comes to 186.50, I'll take a chance. Buy in dip 186 to 186.50. If it sustains high, 190, 194. IWM is really, really solid. So tomorrow, if we start to go down on the ES, keep an eye on IWM. Venkatesh, you can watch the video. Ganesh, I will not cover everything. I already have so much with me. Meta. So Meta did exactly same. We talked about dump, like hammer, hammer, hammer. And you will see gravestone doji, inverted hammer at the top. If it gets rejected, go long. Otherwise, look out for 265, 259. Came here, almost tested 261.70, which is the Fibonacci, which is the 12 EMA. Now, this is going to be important. If it holds, so I will now sell below 261.50. 261.75. I will only sell it below here, and my stop loss will be, there was a gap which was filled, 264, 264. And my target will be, this was a target where we found some level of support, 252. So there's aggressive sell, 252.75. And then the test of 12 EMA, 244.80. Now, in case of Facebook, the loss of 261 is really important because for the last 6 months, it has not done any back testing. So the moment we lose 265, 261.75, you can aggressively go long. And aggressive meaning this is the area where you would like to do, if you're doing 2 lots, do 5. If you're doing 5, do 10, so that you can take a leverage of this. Okay. Now, in case it finds a support, because we don't know if it finds a support or not. So breakdown happened. Test or back test. No, I will say test of 12 EMA. If provides support, go long above 264 or 273.30. Let's make it green. Microsoft. Same thing. It's an evening star, finding support right there. It's aggressive sell. It should fill the gap and do a back test of 34 yen. It has not done a back test since March. Oh, no, it did in April. So a back test is really called for. My stop loss is 327. So in case Microsoft moves up, I would like to sell this 327. Evening star continuation. Now, in case it rises first, I would say sell on rise. 325.26. If it comes in this area, then find puts. Target is the gap. The gap is 316.50. $313.90. And go long above 327. Above 327, you can see 332, 335. Netflix. Netflix is bearish engulfing, but it was the red candle again. It's holding the support. It's making higher high, higher low. So till the moment it is holding 398, I'm okay. It's 397. If you can get it, you will have this. So Netflix is fine. Nvidia was a big sell today. Same rejection from 261, 398 area. And it was inverted hammer at the top, right at that area now. Same thing, it is bouncing from here. I don't know why it is bouncing, but if we lose 367, then we can aggressively sell this for 320, 345 or this. Otherwise, if it finds support, then you can take this into consideration. So Nvidia, buy above 378 in case it happens. Stop loss will be 375. Again, I'm neutral on them. Target is 387, 398. Sell aggressively below 370-250 or 367.75 and into the gap. So if it goes below 370-250, that's a really good. Yeah, EPS, UPS can be really good. PayPal, Square, they are both in the same intensity. Like a back test is happening, so it's a really good opportunity for the PayPal. 63.40. So the levels are there. 63.40. Buy in the dip towards 64. 63.75, 64 area. If it comes into this area, I'll be a buyer. It's a back test of 12 or 34, 12 yen. Square is making a dodgy at the top, which is not really good. So I really want it to come down to 64 before I add. So square is dodgy at the top. Not good at all. So from positive, I will reduce it to neutral. My stop loss is 64.30. Buy and dip around this area. It is trading at 66. The levels are same for them. Shop. I don't want to do shop. I want to do Roku. Roku was really good today. I mean, really, really good today. Roku was where exactly it got hit. Fibonacci. And where it broke out. I call this as like a cigar or pipe thing. It broke out above this and it held around this area. So consolidation should now provide some serious support at 67. So Roku stop loss is 67, 70 to 60, 75 target, buy near 68. Close around that corner. If it's there, then that's it. Then I have Tesla. Tesla could not cross this Fibonacci of 23. So may come back and do a gap fill. I would do a gap fill and I will reduce it to neutral now. Buy on gap fill. Buy and dip. $220, $221. So that's it. So I have, Steven, I don't do plug. UPS, okay. Let's do one thing. Let me share the Zoom link and you guys can come over and share your charts. It's easier. This way we can learn and we can share. So the Zoom link is shared. You can join now and share your charts. Sarab, today it broke out and I mentioned in the group as well that airlines rail rate. Delta moved, American Airlines moved.
विश्व बंद करना बेटा कोई आवाज नहीं करना ठीक है 2 मिनट
So AL, right, Sarab? So it broke out finally of that range. It was inverted head and shoulders. And that's why we had a breakout. Whether it sustains or not, that's a separate story, but it's an inverted head and shoulder. And that's why Saurabh, I've already shared my screen and opened up American Airlines. You can speak.
Paji, if you go on a longer time frame and just shrink this chart, actually it is forming the shoulder of head and shoulder.
Let me just go to 5 years. I'm already on 5 years.
Just shrink it. No, not that much. Yeah, if you see here, right, it is forming the shoulder of head and shoulder.
But there's one difference here.
Mm-hmm.
See, when it was right here, right? The DMI was far apart and the black line was starting to follow. Here, the black line has not even started. So it has some wiggle room to go. Maybe to 1675. And then let's see.
Okay. Because if you see both the shoulders, Paji, it's exactly at the same level now.
It is at the same level, but if you see, this is on an incline. It is not on the flat.
Yeah, true.
It's on an incline. So right
Okay.
here, we can go up. We can go up to 17 and come back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Well,
But I have delta position, so I was looking at delta.
okay.
Somebody asked about UPS. All UPS was doing, like, all the companies were doing good today, industrial companies. It reclaimed the 12 EMA, setting up a morning star, should hit 170, 375, 177. It looks good. UPS. With UPS, you can also check FedEx. UPS, FedEx should be similar. Yeah. FedEx is also evenings, morning star. So it's a good move for FedEx. Yes, Viren.
Hey, I have this COAF Capital One. You want to check? I can share my screen, or we can take a look at yours.
Okay. COF, right?
Yep. So look at this. At least on my screen, I had 11. Sorry.
Share your screen, because I don't have chart for this. You can share your screen.
Yeah, no worries. Can you guys see? So I was looking at this fib level. It crossed this fib level basically, and then it reached aggressively in the last few days to the next level. I feel it is doing this test here. It just went above this consolidation line.
Right.
So I'm thinking that this could go up to 120.
Most likely.
Yeah, it had in the past gone to 180 range. So
The past goes, for the time being, ignore the past, but you also need to remember that this is one-sided move in the last, from 85 to 120. So
yes,
look at the slant here,
yeah,
right? So
yeah, these are like
if it
way
goes
away
up
from,
like this, it
yeah,
can also come like in 2 days to the 99 area very easily.
yeah, because this is where it was consolidating a little bit, not even heavily, right? So it moved from there, so it will come to that area basically.
No, first it needs to test. There is going to be a back test pretty soon. Count the candles once it left the red EMA from the bottom. Like,
Yeah,
count the number of candles.
from this one, right? 1,
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 3 weeks practically.
3 weeks particularly, and hardly any pullback.
Yeah, hardly any pullback. Yeah,
I think if market declines, this could be a cool off.
yeah.
So be careful at that Fibonacci level. I think it will be really good if it tests that 12 EMA and then bounce.
Okay.
That will
I
be
have
really good.
actually quite a few stocks of this, like, close to maybe like 600-700 stocks on this one. So I was thinking like, I should sell them right now or sell covered calls or something.
Having stocks is a different strategy altogether. That's an investment, and I am not an investor. So my frame of mind is totally different. If I invest something, I just hold it until I get good gains.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
I
these
do
were
not
my
invest in the stocks. I invest in only SPY.
Yeah. So this is my ex-employer stock basically. So I accumulated over a period of 6, 7, 8 years. So that's the reason I got so many of them.
There's not so many. It's like fine. 800 is not a big stock number, but if you really want to invest in them, hold it, or because if market reverses, this will be a hit.
Yeah.
So keep having a stop loss of 112 and keep trailing every day, or keep a trail stop loss of 112 until it hits.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Then we were talking about UNH. UNH is now declining. The stop loss was 493. Yesterday, it made an evening star and we should have gone out below 493. Now it's looking bad. It may come down to 470. So Raj, you need to keep an eye on that. Plug, Docu, I don't trade them. I just added one because I wanted to trade one, but that's about it. Anybody has any questions? Otherwise, I'm pretty much done. I am going to call it a night now. It's already 1 hour, 10 minutes. I'll wait if anybody has any questions. Okay. If nobody has any questions, please go through this sheet one more time before you start your trading. See if it helps you, or if you have any kind of feedback, try to incorporate that feedback into the sheet itself and share with me, so that if it makes meaningful suggestions, we can incorporate them. It's not my overall thing of bear and bull. I do not believe on that, Aaron. UNH is the resistance. It found the resistance right there. And now it is making a head and shoulders, which is clearly evident to me. So I do not believe that, yes, there is a bull or bear market. The market is always going to be, there will be buyers, there will be sellers. You just need to trade the price. That's it. I do not store the sheet. It's a common Excel sheet without anything. I post it on the internet. It's manual. There's nothing fancy here. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good night.